Okay, so I need to tell you something that genuinely blew my mind this week. JPMorgan, one of the biggest banks in the world, just announced their tech budget for 2026. You want to guess how much it is? $20 billion. 20 billion. And you know what a massive chunk of that goes to? AI. Now, here's what got me. They have 182,000 employees across 84 countries, all using AI tools every single day. And get this. Managers are actually tracking who uses AI and who doesn't. It affects your performance review. If you're a light user, you get flagged. That's how serious they are about this. They have 450 AI use cases already running, and they want to hit 1,000 by end of 2026. So I'm sitting there reading this and thinking, okay, what exactly are they doing with all this money? And more importantly, can regular people do the same thing? So I dug into it, and what I found genuinely surprised me. Because the tools they're using, you've heard of them. LLM Suite, which is basically their internal version of ChatGPT. Claude Code, which is the same Claude that costs $20 a month, and their RAG system for document analysis, which saved 100,000 developer hours per week. 100,000 hours per week. Now here's the question I want you to sit with for a second. If JP Morgan is spending $20 billion to get a 40 to 50% productivity boost from their operations teams, what happens when you give the same tools to one person? Think about that. Here's where it gets really interesting. Because I went through every single tool JP Morgan uses and found the exact alternative for each one at a fraction of the cost. Let's start with document analysis. JP Morgan has an entire legal team doing contract review. What do you have? Claude Pro, $20 a month. And I'm not making this up. Studies show it saves 95% of document review time. 95%. So if you're spending 3 hours reviewing a contract, Claude does it in 9 minutes. Here's the exact prompt I use, and I want you to pause and write this down. Analyze this contract and give me the 5 most important terms, any red flags, my obligations, key deadlines, and payment terms in bullet points, no more than 2 pages. That's it. Upload your PDF. Paste that prompt. 9 minutes later, you have a complete analysis. Now let's talk about email. JP Morgan has entire communications teams writing investor emails. What do you have? ChatGPT Plus, also $20 a month. MIT study showed it saves 40 to 60 minutes every single day per person. Here's my prompt for difficult client emails. Write a professional email to a disappointed client. Context is your situation. Tone is apologetic but confident. Goal is to keep the relationship 150 words maximum. 30 seconds. Done. And research? While JP Morgan has analysts spending days gathering market data, you have Perplexity, completely free. Here's my research prompt. Find me the latest AI productivity statistics from the last 30 days with documented case studies, cite all sources. 3 minutes. You get what used to take 2 hours. Now let me show you the math on all of this, because this is where it gets crazy. JP Morgan spends $20 billion and gets a 40 to 50% productivity boost. You spend $60 a month, and studies show you get a 37 to 80% productivity boost. Same percentage, different scale, same technology. A 100-person team spending 4 hours daily on documents with just a 12% improvement from AI saves 48 hours per day. That's the equivalent of hiring 1.2 full-time employees without paying a salary. Okay, so I know what you're thinking right now. This sounds great, but where do I actually start? Because that's always the problem, right? Too many tools, too many options. You end up doing nothing. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one tool, just one, and use it for one task you do every single day. If you write emails, start with ChatGPT. If you review documents, start with Claude. If you do research, start with Perplexity. Don't try to automate everything at once. That's how you get overwhelmed and quit. Just pick one, use it for 1 week, and I promise you'll never go back. Because here's the reality. JP Morgan didn't build their $20 billion AI operation in a day. They started with 1 use case, then 2, then 10, then 450, and now they're heading to 1,000. The difference between you and JP Morgan isn't the technology. The technology is the same. The difference is that they started, and you can start today for $20. Next week, we're going deeper. We're looking at the companies that tried to automate too fast and what happened to them. Because Not every AI story has a happy ending, and those cautionary tales, they'll save you from making the same expensive mistakes. I'm just someone who figured this out before most people did, and I'm here to share it with you. Thank you for watching. If this gave you something to think about, hit subscribe. Protocol 404. Let's decode the future together.